Hello everyone, this is Ming Jong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-mini futures for the session of 1st of October. So we are entering into the October already. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the market recap from yesterday and also a trade review from the 3 minutes time frame, which I will include the entry, the exit, and also the rationale behind. And in the video, I am also going to explain in detail how I actually trade the routing bottom patterns, breakout strategy, and with the high winning rate. So do watch out for that. And going forward, I will also cover my bias and also the levels that I'm watching, and together with my trading plan for the session later. Alright, so let's just get started. So let's take a look at the daily chart for the S&P 500 for yesterday. So one thing that stands out is the volume. We have a spike of the volume, and we have a kind of a rickshaw-man bar or some kind of a doji bar where we have seen the demand tail and also the rejection tail at the top. So we'll just need to dive into the hourly chart to get more info out from this kind of the candle. So let's go to the hourly chart, and just prior to the US session, so let's take a look there. So we have the US session started at around 9:30 p.m. my time zone, and before that we have seen the relatively sharp reaction from the Asian session. I think that could be triggered by the election debate. So it actually just break this support level 33.20 and tested the next support level at around 32.95. So if I just zoom out a little bit here, and you can see that where this support level comes from, the pink line 32.95. So it's originated from about 9 here. So we have a few touch there, and also penetrate through and also get some resistance. So quite a lot of the interaction at around 32.95, or you can just call it about 3300 level as a round number. And we can see that the price actually just rebounded from the level and subsequently have a bit of the testing going on. So touch and then going up, rejected, and have another test before it actually takes off to go straight up during the opening session. And one thing that puzzled me, or actually I still have no idea what this has been going on, especially with the spike of the supply together with this big bearish bar at 2 a.m. and also 3 a.m. the last 2 hours during my time zone. So it's definitely unusual, especially by just looking at the volume. So you can see that the volume level is just sky high. So I think we have ever seen this kind of the spike of the volume for quite some time, apart from where we have first had the sell-off from the top. So you can see that this is the sell-off at a record high from the top. Then we only have this kind of the spike of the supply. So this is something that puzzled me and have no idea what's going on. So definitely with that kind of the price action, it was pretty bearish, at least to me, because if we take this like as a pretty much a swing high, or even take this one, so this kind of the action more like a uptrust action. So it's a kind of a false breakout and with a heavy supply behind the background. But fortunately, I think the bullish signs, or the constructive signs for the bullish case, is that we do not really see a huge loss of the results. In fact, we have seen these two demand tail, and also it didn't really go all the way down to 3300 level. So I think this is more constructive. And right now, during the London session, we have a rally up, and is testing the immediate support level at 33.80. So if I just zoom out a little bit, you can see that 33.80 was actually a level. So we have a level at 33.60, and on the 33.80 definitely is another level as well. So this is a 33.80 level. So right now is still testing the resistance level at 33.80, and we just need to find out more on the later session. So I will talk more on the current market condition in the later part of the video. So before I do that, let me just get down to the 3 minutes time frame, because I have a trade review to show you, and I will just explain in detail how I actually trade the routing bottom pattern breakout strategy with an increasing winning rate. So this is the standard breakout strategy that I love to trade, because with this kind of the breakout strategy, it always increase my winning rate, because I can actually filter out quite a lot of the bad trade. So before I dive in straight to the setup for the breakout, let me give you a bit of the context here. So you can see that I have zoomed out a lot here, and just to give you a bit of the context, so that's the previous day US session, and subsequently we are entering into the Asian session. So we have this kind of the uptrust, and followed by a relatively sharp sell-off, inability to rally up after we broke this 33.20 support level, test the support as a resistance, get rejected, and eventually come down and test the next support level at 32.95. So this is how it went. And let me just zoom in a bit more. And one thing that's that kept my attention is definitely the spike of the supply level together with the bearish results. Apart from that, once we have just entering into the immediate support level at 32.96 or 95, then we can see that the price actually just bounce up, have another test, and eventually have a nice rally up. And this is the first breakout from this rounding bottom pattern. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, so let me just draw again. So this is kind of the rounding bottom pattern that I'm talking about. So if you do not think there's a routing is okay as well, we can always trade it as just a normal kind of the horizontal trading range. That's fine as well. But one thing that routing has in common is we have this kind of the high-low forming at the second bottom here, and usually I do not want to take this breakout, because this is the first breakout from this immediate resistance level. So the reason behind the first breakout is that it will usually attract a lot of the supply, because this is the first time that the price wants to break out to the upside. So it's quite natural to have this kind of the increase of the volume, so equals to increase of the supply and also increase of the demand as well. So we'll just need to see how you actually react from the first breakout point. And most of the time, what you will generally see is a pullback. Sometimes the pullback can be relatively shallow, like tested, and then reverse again. Sometimes it will just form a kind of a false breakout type of a scenario, like we have this breakout, and then suddenly supply spike, and then we have the bearish bar come out, and then eventually just drift down to the lower part of the support as well, or the range as well. So it's quite risky to take the first breakout. So what I usually do is to always wait and see what happens, because the first breakout will draw out quite a lot of the supply. So I just want to see how it actually resolve. So as expected, so we have the volume increasing, or you can say the supply increasing as well. And subsequently, we have this reaction as a backup action, or you can call it a last point of the support at the higher ground. And this reaction is very different from what we have seen in these two reactions. So this is something that I would like you to pay attention to. So if we just take a look at the spread on this first two reactions, we can notice that the candles are big, relatively big, and the price is a bit volatile. So this is the third reaction. So you can see that we have very relatively small candle in this reaction, unlike what we have seen in these two reactions. So this is a very encouraging sign. And apart from that, this one looks like a supply absorption because it's actually holding up the gain. And this is the shallowest or the most shallow reaction that we have ever seen. So unlike the previous reaction, once it's actually hit the resistance, come down to the bottom, hit the resistance, coming down to the bottom again. So this time, hit the resistance, breaking out, yet it's actually holding up the gain at the higher ground. Not only it did not touch the halfway range, it actually just stay well above the halfway range. So I think this is a very encouraging sign. So there are two things that catch my attention. First is definitely the volatility at this reaction is very low, unlike what we have seen in these two reactions. Second is actually the character of this reaction is shallow and looks like supply absorption and right at the resistance level. So these are the bullish character. So what I tend to do is to trade the reversal of the this kind of the setup, or actually trade a breakout as well. So in this case, I took this reversal, and you can see that we have a reaction, and this is a confirmation bar to signal that trend has reversed. So after the close of this bar, I just enter a long entry here. And another entry is based on the second breakout. So it's somewhere around there. So this is the second breakout that I take. But one thing that made me a bit uncomfortable is because it's kind of close to the US session, because I don't really like to keep my full size position when the US open. So that's kind of a bit late, but still I think it's relatively decent setup. So I don't really take the first breakout. I always take the second breakout there. If I remember correctly, I think it should be this bullish bar. So right at the close of this bullish bar. And of course, the first entry is based on the reversal of this reaction. And I just enter a long right after the close of this bullish bar. So two entry. But eventually, I just manage my trade right before the US opening session. So you can see that I just highlight here. I just close one of my position right at this, can't remember which candle is that. I think it's about 10 minutes before the opening session. So it could be around this little candle there, just to close partial of my position, to scale out a bit, to manage my position, because during the US opening session, it tends to be volatile. So it's not uncommon to see the price action go the other way and then to stop me out. So I just want to lock in a bit of the profit. So especially when I open a trade there and close it up there, it's pretty much close to a break-even trade. But I still pretty much keep the full size of the position at the reversal trade there. And eventually, I just write the trade and trail my stop and have my limit order to exit my trade right at this non-RTH high at around 33.56, 57. So which is also the prior resistance level at around 33.60. So overall, the net reward to risk ratio is around 2.4 or 2.2, so which is relatively nice for me. So that's how I actually trade this kind of the routing bottom breakout trade. So hope you enjoyed it, and let me just take a look at what's going on during the US session. So you can see that I think everything still seems relatively bullish, and we have this kind of the up channel, and until somewhere around 2:20 or 2:30 a.m. my time zone, we have seen sudden spike of the supply together with the big spread bearish bar here. So I mean, if you are still wake up or you're still trading in front of the computer, this could be a trigger just purely based on a sudden spike of the supply and together with the bearish spread. And depending how you manage the trade, you probably can catch some kind of the down move. Alright, so that's the trade review. Let me get down to the hourly time frame and let's talk about the current market condition. Okay, so this is the hourly time frame, and so far I haven't seen anything very unusual apart from that the price just entering into the resistance level at around 33.80, and this is also where the supply zone coming at. We see the spike of the supply together with the big spread bearish bar. So definitely we're testing the supply, we're testing the resistance, and what I would like to see is to have a breakout of the immediate resistance level at 33.80 so that you can just maybe challenge the next target at around 34.20. So once you can just break out, maybe you can just go back and challenge the 34.20 level. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier on, this kind of the spike of the supply do make me a bit worried, because if this is a uptrust, false breakout with the increasing of the supply together with the bearish results, then I think it could just go back down to test the 3300 level, but it didn't happen. So that's a bullish character. And for the immediate resistance and support level, then definitely I think the resistance will be around 33.80, so we are right at the resistance level, and the next level will be around 34.20. So 34.20 will be the next level, and followed by 34.50. And for the immediate support level, I think we still can just based on the previous day high and also the day low as well, and the non-RTH high and non-RTH low. And other than that, in terms of the structure, 3300 level seems like to provide some kind of the support level, and also I would say 3320. So is both 3320 and 3300 level will provide some kind of the support. And let's see how it actually plays out. Usually I will just to see how the price interact at the key levels. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and get something useful out from the video. So if you like the video, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me. And do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification of my future video ideas. And as usual, if you have any kind of the comments, suggestions, or trade ideas you would like to share with me, feel free to comment it below. I will reply to you. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.